Okay, this is a discussion about the Blade mQX stock battery mounting. I want to talk a little bit about the particular design of this product. As a product designer myself, I have to look at these things from various points of views. And when I design an aftermarket or upgrade product for an existing stock product, I go through a complete analysis of the existing product and see where the pluses and the minuses are, and then try to work around that to try to come up with some upgrades that can enhance the performance, the durability, and also the aesthetics. One of the first things that I look in a product design is how it flows structurally as well as aesthetically. And in talking about this particular Blade mQX, one of the things that just bothered me from the beginning was the position of the battery. Now here's the this is not the stock battery, but it's a very similar in size battery that fits in the same way the stock battery does. Now the stock battery fits in like so, and it's retained in place by this strap here, this battery strap. Mine is cut. I trimmed this in order to allow it a little more flexibility in inserting a little bit wider batteries. Don't let that be a deterrent or distraction in this particular video. Just understand that what I'm talking about is the position in which they mounted this bracket here in reference to the whole structure of the Blade mQX. Whoever designed this, I don't know how they were thinking, but it makes more sense to me because 90% of the quads that are out there, including the mQX, is flown in the X direction, which means that this is your front. Being also that it has two wide blades in the front, it makes more sense, to me at least, I think, to put the battery this way. Now, why did they put this bracket of the battery in line with the plus position? Nobody that I know flies in plus mode, which would be, this would be the front. Most of these quads are flown in the X position, and it's flown in the X position because the model performs a little more stable in this particular way. So now you have, you know, two rotors on the side for roll, and you have the pitch as well, two rotors. Everything is equal. This way right here you have a little more imbalance, I think, and you have a little more less stability. And I believe that's also why the blade manufacturing, the designers also made the two blades white, indicating in a logical form that the helicopter or the quad is supposed to be flown this way, or is preferred to be flown that way. You don't need to fly it that way. You can also fly that way because the manual states that you can fly it in X or plus mode. But as I said, 90% of the quads out there, including the very small ones, the Blade mQX and also the Wakira Ladybird, is flown in the X mode. Having said that, once again, I want to make clear that this is bothering me right now. This the location of the battery. It just, you know, this being in front of it, it's a little cumbersome to do this. Not so much in the stock form, but when you start making upgrades, such as and I'm coming from the standpoint of the landing gear camera mount that I designed for this. I had a hard time trying to work around this particular design here, the stock design. It would have been a lot easier just to have the battery this way, not only from a stock design point of view, because you have a lot more room here, and it makes more sense to me to insert the battery this way because you're flying in with that being the front in that direction, or I mean, you can fly in all directions, but this makes more sense because in a helicopter the battery is inserted not sideways or at 45 degrees, but it's more in line or parallel with the front to back axis. So that's one of the things that's been bothering me about the Blade mQX since I got it. and more so when I have to design upgrades and work around these little issues that I run into, you know, from time to time with some products. It's like, what were they thinking? You know, why did they do this instead of this? Makes more sense to put the battery that way. So I'm a little upset about this because I designed the landing gear to work with this particular setup. Now I've had a couple customers come back to me and tell me, you know, this is very hard to do with your landing gear, and they're blaming my landing gear setup here. Now bear in mind that I had to design the MIA TUFF landing gear camera mount around this particular issue that I'm talking about. So and without having to do a lot of cut and paste here, I didn't want to have to cut the whole bracket, but maybe that's an option, you know, just to do it right. It's just to cut this thing out of here and just mount the battery directly to the MIA Microflight camera mount landing gear that I provide, you know, as an upgrade for those of you that want to install the keychain camera. So maybe that's an option. That's what's been bothering me, and I'm a little upset that a couple customers have pointed this at this, and it's making it look as if my product is the one at fault, and I don't think it is. I mean, so look at this. You know, you hit this thing here when you're inserting the battery. That's number one. Yeah, you have enough room to do that, and maybe I'm over exaggerating this particular issue here, but I'm doing this just to make a point here that this battery should have been installed this way. So I'm a little bit upset about that, because now I have to make adaptations, you know, to my landing gear to work around this, so that it's easier for the customer to do this type of installation. So I have two solutions. The good thing is that part of my job is to look at problems and come up with solutions, and I'm pretty good at doing that. It's what's been keeping MIA Microflight afloat, you know, for many years. It's just one of the characteristics of MIA Microflight. Is take a problem, how do you resolve that? And so I came up with two options here. So I will discuss those in the next segments of this video, and hopefully that will clarify, and will hopefully that will give a little more information to our customers, so they can also understand why MIA Microflight does certain things the way they're done, and how you can really benefit from not only the stock product but also the upgrades that we make. We make these particular upgrades so that the customer benefits from not only from a mechanical structural standpoint, but also from a performance, and also from the looks of it. A lot of the stuff that we make is very spiffy, but it's also very durable and very lightweight. So I will talk about those two options that I have in mind, and we'll take it from there.